Welcome to Douchebagcinema. I'm your host, Some Douche. Ever since the advent of the genre, horror has used the language of cinema to create artistic analogies for some of society's real-life monsters. Whether it's communist infiltration masquerading as an alien invasion in the 50s, or a horde of zombies representing the evils of rampant consumerism in the 70s and 80s, the genre has always served as a litmus test of real-life horrors to come. It is with this mindset that 15 years ago, producers of the Halloween series sought to valiantly forego decades' worth of mythology and recurring characters in order to better tell a story that would warn humanity of the upcoming evil that was reality television. No other time in the history of the horror genre has a franchise abandoned so much of its lore in order to altruistically warn humanity of the dangers of cheap television, as in 2002's Halloween Resurrection. It was early in the new millennium, and the success of a new type of reality-based television program prompted television networks to shift from producing unimaginative scripted series that people loved to watch.
You got it, dude!
Into producing unimaginative, unscripted series that people love to hate.
I think I got some of that cow poo in my mouth, and it doesn't taste too good.
Ever aware of the dangers of exposing audiences to subpar storytelling, the writer of Cube 2, Hypercube, and the fourth direct-to-video Crow sequel decided to pen a story that would use the staples of the slasher genre to warn society of the perils that come from participating in irresponsibly ill-conceived competition-centered reality shows.
You six will enter the birthplace of evil in its purest form. The childhood home of our most brutal mass murderer, Michael Myers.
Observe how, in a foreshadowing role as a soulless reality TV producer, Tyra Banks assists media mogul Busta Rhymes in finding psychologically fragile contestants for their macabre experiment by asking some of the same sociopathic questions she would later use in real life to find the most emotionally unstable participants for her show, America's Next Top Model.
So tell us, Sarah, why do ordinary people turn to murder?
I think it has something to do with upbringing.
Damn, that girl can sing.
That's what I'm looking for.
In an interview regarding the casting process of a reality TV show, psychologist and television consultant Dr. James Huisman stated, "We live in an age of disposable people. The producers don't care about the players, they care about the sponsors who want eyeballs, confrontations, meltdowns. They love it when people cry or are browbeaten. That's why the highest rated shows are the ones where people get crushed emotionally."
Let the dangertainment begin out there.
Like an emotionally unstable team of teenage archaeologists, so do our protagonists venture into the metaphorical abandoned remains of a dead franchise under the guise of a flimsy premise for a bad show.
They're looking for clues. You know, something that might explain why Michael Myers went bad.
Oh.
In his writings on the reasons why some audiences would enjoy watching such a show, psychologist Stephen Rice suggested some people may watch reality TV partially because they enjoy feeling superior to the people being portrayed. People with a strong need for vengeance have the potential to enjoy watching people being humiliated.
Whoa, that is what I'm talking about.
It is in moments like these where the audience watching this film has to reconsider who the villain of this story truly is. Is it the serial killer? A victim himself of a prejudicial psychologist's unconventionally aggressive methods? Or is it the TV producer whose Machiavellian plots are evil enough to scare off said serial killer?
I'm playing Michael Myers. If them kids come around and see us dressed up in the same shit, you're gonna ruin the whole effect. You need to get the hell out of here. Go ahead, scoot, skedaddle.
It is in this way that this production company unwillingly thrusts its unsuspecting cast into life-threatening danger, justifying it all with a cynical understanding of what an audience wants to watch, a worldview that is, sadly, typical of many reality TV producers.
America don't like reality, first of all. Second of all, they think the shit is boring. You know what I mean? They want the little razzle-dazzle, you know what I mean? And us being the ones that give it to them, I don't see nothing wrong with that.
In his book, Without Conscience, The Disturbing World of the Psychopaths Among Us, criminal psychologist Robert D. Hare states, psychopaths are social predators who charm, manipulate, and ruthlessly plow their way through life. Their hallmark is a stunning lack of consciousness. Their game is self-gratification at the other person's expense.
I want my money. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to go scare the shit out of some more of these motherfuckers. So, see y'all.
This decision from part of Mr. Rhymes has dire consequences for our cast of clueless teen archaeologists, for by the time the real serial killer starts doing what serial killers do, they are left to fend for themselves, all for the entertainment of an equally clueless teen audience.
Somebody please help us. She really is a very talented actress.
Fortunately for this very talented actress, it is this display of unwarranted violence exactly what was needed to awaken her producer from the morally lethargic state he had been in throughout the entire film.
Everybody's down. We got to get the fuck out of here.
As you can see, we are witnessing a turning point in the development of our main character, for he is no longer foolishly endangering people's lives with his negligence, but rather he is now endangering them by not calling the police and resorting to a childish display of yellow belt taekwondo against an immortal death monster. Like any television executive reprimanding a non-union crew member, so does Busta Rhymes proceed to beat the living shit out of his rogue cast member. With our serial killer finally defeated, our surviving characters emerge as more enlightened individuals who... Oh shit, he's still alive! By killing off Busta Rhymes, the director is boldly eliminating the one character in this entire film who had displayed signs of developing a character arc, leaving the audience to watch a frantic teenager running in circles trying to escape from a serial killer who she has no personal connection with and who does not represent an ordeal in her character development. This is not only a courageous departure from standard storytelling structure, but also a decisive shift for the franchise that had previously used the slaying of Michael Myers as a life-changing character moment for series protagonist Laurie Strode, or as the ultimate validation of Dr. Loomis's questionably violent approach to psychological care of a mentally unstable patient.
I shot him 6 times! He's not human!
However, this departure from convention is short-lived, for it is in the last minutes of the film when our protagonist makes an inexplicable but welcome return to take his place as the rightful heir of the Halloween franchise.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
Like a Renaissance poet back from the dead, so does Busta Rhymes proceed to avenge his fallen cast and crew by confronting Michael Myers one last time and frying his dick off.
Happy fucking Halloween!
In the years since its release, there have been other films and television series that have used the language of horror to warn us about the evils of reality television, whether it's through Charlie Brooker's dark satirical lens in Dead Set, or with Drew Goddard's more comical take in Cabin in the Woods. Horror has proven to be an outlet for the most creative and intelligent of storytellers to craft tales full of social commentary regarding television's most critically panned genre. However, never in the history of horror has a franchise so selflessly sacrificed every single thing its fan base was expecting from it in order to warn its audience of the true horrors that would soon come on televisions all across the globe than 2002's Halloween Resurrection. That's it for this episode of Douchebag Cinema. Until next time, keep it douchey. Today's episode was sponsored by absolutely no one. Don't forget to use the promo code douchebagcinema at no website whatsoever to get absolutely nothing in return. Now, to watch a dissertation about the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and the art of kaiju cinema, click here. For more episodes of Douchebag Cinema, follow us on social media and don't forget to subscribe or whatever.